Amy Moskovitz, and I'm the reference manager at the Haverford Township Free Library, and this is Mindfulness Monday. Mindfulness Monday is a time where you put aside your to-do list and you stop worrying about anything that you need to do this afternoon or this evening. You stop worrying about anything that happened this morning or earlier today, and you just take some time for yourself. This is a time where I give you some tips and tricks and some mindfulness techniques that I use in my own life and my own mindfulness practice. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm a librarian, and these are just some things that I use in my life to bring me some peace and some comfort and some calm, and I hope that they bring you some calm as well. We're going to start by reviewing last week's mini mindfulness tips and techniques that I gave you. This is mindfulness for people on the go. Now that a lot of us are getting back to work and back to our lives, some of us are coming out of quarantine now that the state is in the yellow phase. Speaking of which, the library is going to curbside service tomorrow on June 15th. We're all very excited to be providing you with that service again. So please come and visit us. You can get more information on our website or by calling us. But now that a lot of us are coming out of our homes again with masks, hopefully, and getting back to our lives, we have a little bit less time. So you can use these mini mindfulness techniques during your busy day, or maybe at work, or if you are still home even, to just take a few minutes, just take a little bit less time than some of the other techniques that I taught you to bring some calm to your day. So let's review. We talked a little bit about yawning and stretching, and we said that we were going to try yawning and stretching for 10 seconds every hour when we remember to do so, and even fake yawn if you need to. So give a big ah as you do so. And remember, yawning interrupts our thoughts and brings us into the present moment. So let's try it. Focus on stretching your arms up and down, anything that feels good. And stretch for 10 seconds. Notice any tightness or anywhere that you're holding any tension. We tend to hold tension in our shoulders and our neck in this area. So as you're yawning and stretching, you may be releasing some tension. Let out some ahs and some yawns. You may find that you let out a real yawn when you're fake yawning, and that's okay. If you're tired, you may be real yawning. Stretch. And I'm doing an extended one. We're really only going to do this for 10 seconds every hour. This is a mini mindfulness technique. And end by giving yourself a big hug and switch and pat yourself on the back for doing a mini mindfulness technique in the middle of your busy day. We also learned to stop in the name of mindfulness. The S stands for stand up, and I'm not going to do so. Lilith is going to stand up for me. She's going to be the model. So S stands for stand up. Breathe and ground yourself. Ground your feet into the ground. Feel the ground below your feet as you stand up. Ground into the ground. The T stands for tune into your body. Scan, we talk about scanning your body and notice any areas where you're holding any tension and try to release. Breathe into those areas. Lilith is really relaxing with us today. The O stands for observe. Observe the world around you. Open your eyes and find something that makes you happy and give it gratitude. And the P stands for possibility. Ask yourself, what is possible? What is my next step? Take just a moment and think about possibility and meditate on that just for a second. And then stop and sit. So those were two of the techniques that we went over last week. Now let's come back, sit if you're not, come to a comfortable seat, And we're going to take a few minutes now and we're just going to breathe together this afternoon. There's nothing new to learn. There's nothing new to repeat. Last week we did our loving kindness meditation, and we'll end with that again today. But instead of learning anything new, we're just going to breathe together for a few moments. So find yourself a comfortable seat. You can put your palms down if you feel like you need to bring the energy down a little bit this afternoon, or you can put your palms facing up if you feel like you need to bring energy in. I feel like I need to bring the energy up a little bit, so I'm going to put my palms facing up. And just breathe naturally for a few breaths. Notice again, scan your body. Is there any area where you can release any tension? Maybe in your jaw, maybe in your neck or shoulders. Hopefully not if you've practiced some of those last week's techniques with us, but maybe there is. Release it. Now feel your breath. You can close your eyes if you'd like to, or soften your gaze. Feel your breath go in and out. Let's come to our inhale and exhale. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And notice, does your chest fill up with air? Does your belly fill up with air? How does it feel to breathe in this moment? While you breathe, try to bring your mindfulness to the ground below you, supporting you. While you breathe, feel supported by maybe the rug or whatever's underneath you at this moment. Maybe it's a chair. But feel very supported by what's underneath you. And let that bring you peace and grounding. Now come back to your breath. Let's take a few deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just make your breath a little bit deeper. If any thoughts creep in, that's okay. Let them come and let them go. Take one more deep breath with me now. And out. Now scan your body one more time for any areas of tension and try to breathe into that area. And let that go and release. Maybe you feel a little bit different now than when we began. Hopefully you feel a little bit more at peace. Before we end today, we're going to come up with a mantra or a phrase that will hopefully bring you a little bit of peace. This is something that you can take with you throughout your day, throughout any time that is stressful or difficult for you. And this is something that I got from a book that I read recently called The Body Is Not an Apology: The Power of Radical Self-Love by Sonia Renee Taylor. And on page 103, she talks about personal mantras, personal phrases or personal things that we can tell ourselves to just empower ourselves. So the first question that I'd like you to ask yourself, and this is how we form our personal mantra: if I were free of shame or discomfort, what might I say to myself? And I'm paraphrasing here. So answer that question. If I were free of shame or discomfort, what might I say to myself? The second way that you're going to answer the second question is, if I were unafraid of failure or disappointment, what would I do right now? And the answer to those two questions are how you're going to make up your personal mantra. It should be something really empowering to you. If I were free of shame or discomfort, what might I say to myself? And if I were unafraid of failure or disappointment, what would I do right now? So those two parts are going to make up your personal phrase, your personal mantra. And that mantra should give you peace and empowerment whenever you're going through something difficult. We'll come back to this next week, and maybe you'll have a personal mantra for yourself. And that was from Sonia Renee Taylor. We're going to close with the loving kindness meditation that we learned last week. If you don't remember it, it goes like this. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be filled with kindness and peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be filled with kindness and peace. Thank you for joining me today for Mindfulness Monday. See you next week.